Imagine waking up tomorrow with the same body, the same life, the same relationships, yet something absolutely fundamental has changed. You still move your hands, brush your teeth, feel hunger and pleasure, but none of it feels like it's happening to you in the old way. The body is still here, but it's no longer your prison, your identity, or your boundary line. In a very real sense, the body has become optional. Not optional like a jacket you can throw away, but optional as the center of who you are. In this video, we'll explore what advanced spiritual traditions and awakened teachers mean when they say, "You are not the body." How can you live, love, and function normally while knowing you're not confined to skin and bones? And why does this realization fundamentally transform your relationship with pain, fear, aging, and death itself? Let's step carefully into this radical possibility. Before we can talk about the body becoming optional, we need to clarify what awakening actually is and what it isn't. Awakening is not a belief, a philosophy, or a special state you manage to hold on to. It's a shift in identity from being a separate person inside a body and mind to recognizing yourself as the open, borderless awareness in which body and mind appear. In this video, we'll unpack how that shift happens, what it feels like in real life, and why our relationship to the body transforms so profoundly. We'll also debunk some popular myths, like the idea that awakened people stop caring about their bodies or float around in constant bliss. If you're drawn to deep, no-nonsense explorations of consciousness, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss future dives. And stay with this video till the end. The final segments give you concrete pointers for exploring this for yourself, not just as a concept. Let's begin with the everyday assumption almost everyone shares. I am this body looking out through these eyes. It feels obvious. When someone touches your arm, you say, "They touched me." When your body hurts, you hurt. When the body dies, it seems like you're gone. This is what we can call body-centered identity. It's not just an idea. It's a felt sense that me is located somewhere behind the eyes, inside the skin. Most of our fears, ambitions, and anxieties orbit this sense of being a vulnerable body in a dangerous world. But notice something simple. Everything you know about your body is an experience arising in awareness. Sensations, images in the mirror, thoughts like my hand, my face, are all showing up to something. The question at the heart of awakening is, what is that something? Are you the experienced body or the knowing of the body? This shift in focus opens the door to everything that follows. Awakening begins when curiosity turns inward. Instead of asking, "What is the body?" we ask, "Who am I that knows this body?" Try this right now. Close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body, the pressure of the chair, the rhythm of the breath. All of that is appearing in a kind of inner space. That inner space of knowing, consciousness, doesn't weigh anything. It doesn't feel young or old, male or female, sick or healthy. Yet it's what allows every bodily sensation to be known. Traditions call this realizing yourself as awareness itself. When this recognition stabilizes, identity quietly relocates. You no longer feel like a small person inside the body. Instead, the body, thoughts, and world appear within you as awareness. This isn't imagination. It's a shift in felt reality. From that standpoint, the body is still present, but it's no longer the core reference point of I. This is the seed of the body becoming optional. When you believe you are the body, every bodily event feels existential. A wrinkle, an illness, a racing heartbeat can instantly trigger the fear. Something is happening to me. I might cease to exist. This fusion of self and body turns natural sensations into spiritual emergencies. From awakened perspective, something subtle changes. Pain is still pain. Pleasure is still pleasure. But they're recognized as movements within awareness, not threats or rewards to a separate entity. The body becomes more like a beloved instrument or costume, intimate, important, yet not who you fundamentally are. Paradoxically, this can make you more caring toward the body, not less. Instead of using it to prop up identity, attractive, strong, successful, you relate to it practically and compassionately. You tend it the way you'd care for a friend's house you're staying in, with respect, but without the desperation of clinging to it as your only home. To say the body becomes optional doesn't mean it vanishes or becomes irrelevant. It means your sense of existing is no longer dependent on what happens to it. Imagine you're deeply engrossed in a movie. When the character is in danger, your body tenses, heart races. It feels like you are at risk until you remember, this is a screen, not my life. The story continues, but fear softens. Similarly, awakening reveals that your true nature, awareness, remains untouched while the body changes, ages, and eventually dies. The movie of the body still plays, vivid and compelling, but it's not your entire identity. From here, the body becomes functionally important, ontologically optional. You use it to communicate, to create, to love. But the deep question, will I survive, no longer sticks to the body in the same way. Existence is known as prior to and independent of this particular form. Words like "I am not the body" can be misunderstood as a license to reject or neglect the body. That's not awakening. That's another form of ego, spiritualized this time. If you use non-duality to avoid your trauma, emotions, or health, you're not transcending the body, you're abandoning it. True realization brings intimacy with the body. Because you're no longer identified with it, you can finally listen without defensiveness. Pain is no longer an attack on me, just a message. Emotions aren't personal failures, just energies moving through. Think of it like driving a rental car knowing you're not the car. You still drive safely, maintain fuel, avoid collisions. But you don't obsess over every scratch as an injury to your soul. So when we say the body becomes optional, we mean this egoic story of being only the body becomes optional. Presence, kindness, and responsiveness toward the body remain absolutely essential. Surprisingly, many people get their first taste of body optional awareness through intense physical experiences. In deep meditation or on retreat, the body can feel huge, tiny, weightless, or made of vibrating energy. Sometimes it seems to disappear entirely, yet you remain. Even outside formal practice, moments of awe, watching a sunset, making love, creating art, can erase the sense of being a separate, solid somebody. There's just experience, flowing. Later, the mind says, I was so present. But in the moment, the I had relaxed. These glimpses are not the goal, but they hint at a deeper truth. Your existence doesn't depend on constantly feeling a solid body. When the sense of form gets thin or dissolves, awareness is unchanged. Awakening stabilizes this recognition. Whether the body feels dense, spacious, painful, or ecstatic, the background knowing is the same. That knowing, what you truly are, doesn't come and go with bodily states. One of the most radical implications of realizing you aren't confined to the body is how it transforms your relationship with death. Most fear of death is actually fear of body loss, loss of sensation, movement, loved ones, the familiar container of me. From the standpoint of awareness, death looks different. You begin to see that what you are has already watched countless changes, childhood to adulthood, health to sickness and back, sleeping and waking every day. In deep sleep, the body and world vanish from experience, yet something effortlessly returns and says, I slept well. Awakening reveals that this underlying presence isn't born when the body appears, nor destroyed when it disappears. The body is like a wave. Awareness is the ocean. Waves rise and fall, but the water itself never stops being water. This doesn't mean you become reckless or indifferent. It means fear of non-existence loosens, making room for a quieter, more relaxed relationship with mortality. If the body is no longer your primary identity, what happens to relationships? Strangely, they often deepen. When you aren't busy protecting a fragile sense of me in this body, you can meet others more directly. You start to see that every person you encounter is another expression of the same awareness, temporarily dressed in different bodies and histories. Empathy shifts from I feel for that person to I recognize myself in that form. This isn't a belief, it's a quiet, experiential knowing. Conflict still arises, misunderstandings, differences in values, but there's less compulsion to defend an image. The body becomes a communication device, eyes that see, hands that comfort, a voice that speaks truth. But the deeper sense of connection isn't between two sealed containers, it's awareness recognizing itself. This can make love feel both more intimate and less possessive. The body is cherished, yet no longer the final boundary of who you can care about. A common misunderstanding is that if you realize you're not the body, you'll stop functioning in ordinary life. Who pays the bills, goes to work, or feeds the kids if no one is home? In practice, functioning often becomes more efficient. Without the extra commentary, what does this say about me? Am I good enough? How do I look? Attention is freed up for direct response. The body-mind continues its conditioning. It types emails, cooks dinner, walks the dog, just as before. The difference is that actions no longer feel like personal burdens carried by a small self. They're movements arising in awareness through a particular body in response to the moment. Think of a musician who stops obsessing about their ego and just lets the music play through them. The instrument doesn't vanish. It's finally played with ease. In awakening, your body becomes that instrument, useful, expressive, not the ultimate you. It's easy to turn I am not the body into a cold abstraction, but the living heart of realization is many love, a kind of unbounded friendliness toward whatever appears, including your own body. As identification with form loosens, what's left isn't detachment, it's a gentle warmth with no center. The body, with all its quirks and limitations, is seen as an expression of that love, not an obstacle to it. This love shows up practically. You rest when tired, seek help when ill, move and nourish the body not to polish an identity, but because life cares for itself. You may even feel more attuned to subtle signals of stress and intuition. The body becomes optional as a reference for who I am, but not optional as a channel for love in this world. Through touch, gaze, words, and presence, love takes form. Awakening reveals you as the formless source of that expression. Let's be clear, awakening is not about chasing exotic experiences where you float above your body or leave it behind. Those can happen, but they're just passing states. A more grounded way to taste body-optional awareness is through simple inquiry in daily life. For example, when you feel a strong sensation, anxiety in the chest, pleasure, fatigue, ask quietly, am I this sensation or the awareness noticing it? Don't answer conceptually, just rest as the noticing. You can also explore during ordinary actions, walking, washing dishes, talking. Sense the body moving, sounds arising, thoughts commenting, then check. Where is the me located? Is it findable as an object, or is it the open space in which everything appears? Over time, this gentle curiosity can erode the assumption that you live exclusively inside the body. The body keeps functioning, but the center of gravity shifts into the spaciousness that's been here all along. Let's distill what we've explored. First, our default setting is body-centered identity. I am this person in this skin. Awakening is a shift to recognizing yourself as the awareness in which the body, mind, and world appear. From that recognition, the body becomes optional as identity. It's still present, still important, but no longer your ultimate reference point. Pain, pleasure, aging, and even death are seen as events in awareness, not threats to what you truly are. We saw that this doesn't lead to neglect or cold detachment. Instead, it often brings more tenderness toward the body and others, because there's less fear and self-obsession. Functioning in daily life continues, often more fluidly, while the deep anxiety of being a fragile body in a hostile universe begins to unwind. Most importantly, this isn't an abstract philosophy. It's an experiential possibility available moment by moment through simple, honest looking into what you actually are right now. If something in this exploration resonated, treat it as an invitation, not just interesting content. Over the next few days, notice moments when the body feels especially central: pain, pleasure, desire, fear. In those moments, gently ask, what knows this? Am I limited to this sensation, or am I the awareness it's appearing in? Even a 2-second pause can begin to loosen old assumptions. If you'd like more long-form practice-oriented dives into non-duality, consciousness, and embodiment, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell so these teachings keep showing up in your field. It also helps this channel reach others who are quietly asking the same questions you are. Share this video with a friend who's wrestling with fear of death, illness, or aging. It might offer a new perspective. And in the comments, let me know. What's your own experience of being the body versus being awareness? Your reflections may be exactly what someone else needs to read today.